Hey guys, today I want to go over a little video about how to manage your stash, right? So usually when you have like just a regular stash when you're new to the game, you don't have all of these tabs up here, you don't have all of these sub tabs either. So I'm going to show you exactly how I manage my stash and how I make it look really nice. So the one very important thing to know is that there's this small arrow here. If you click this, it opens up the quick view. And now the quick view is the best way to look through your stash tabs, right? You have all of these tabs. I have them like all organized very neatly, colored with an icon. I'll show you what I use for my tabs, and then you can decide if you like it or not, if you want to do it, or if you want to make your own little legend to basically organize all of the loot that you get in Last Epoch, right? So first of all, I go over every single class: Primalist, Rogue, Mage, Acolyte, Sentinel, right? And I have some tabs for the builds that I use. So this is kind of like items that I will switch around, that I might swap when I'm trying out different builds, or just like in different situations for single target, for map clear. If there are certain items I really only use for this class, I'm going to put them here while I'm playing them. And then I have some tabs for idols, right? So I have this for every single class, right? So as you can see, I haven't played Acolyte yet. You have Sentinel. You have Exalted. And then I go into the Exalted section. So as you collect more and more gear, I'm kind of a hoarder, but I do like to keep a lot of helms and body armor since they have like plus level to skills, right? Exalted helms, body armors, and relics. So I kind of separate every single category between every type of item. So I have exalted helms, exalted body armors, and you can see that there are some choices of like icons that you can use. If you right click on a tab, you can name it, you can choose an icon, you can select the category that it's going to go in. So the category is like the primary tab, and then the subcategory is the one that you see here, right? So, and you can select a color. So I'm going to show you exactly which colors I use. For Primalist, I use green. For Rogue, I use the red here. And these are kind of like the general colors of the class as well, right? So they are kind of associated with that color. Mage, I went with the blue here. The Acolyte, I went with the like teal or whatever it's called here. And the Sentinel, I went with yellow. So Exalted Helms, you go for the purple because Exalteds are purples. This is what I went for all Exalteds. So I have every category here: body armor, belt, gloves, boots. And then I did all of the different swords, axes, all of the different type of weapons. I put them here. Daggers. So I did this for every single type of weapon. And then you have the Exalted Relics, Exalted Amulets. And the rings, I did something special. I classified them by type. You don't have to do this, but it just makes it look really neat. And I do like to grab almost all of the exalted rings and amulets that drop, just because it only takes one single square space in your stash. And yeah, you never know when you'll maybe want to try a build that has like a special exalted roll on it. Maybe you need, to convert Chill Chan to do something else. Maybe you need to convert. Well, actually, Chill doesn't roll on rings, but you never know when they introduce certain conversions and when you might need an exalted roll of something. So after this, I went with experimental items. This is my least like fleshed out category. Experimental affixes are things that were introduced in 0.9.2. So I just made one stash tab, and I'm just gonna keep like the exalted rolls that I have here. For the uniques, what I went for this color here. And then you go for, I separated them because I don't keep as many uniques as I keep exalteds. Especially uniques, you kind of want to find some that have a lot of legendary potential. For example, like 3 LP Hand of Judgment, or if usually uniques need to have legendary potential to be able to be usable. Depending on the rarity and the legendary like the legendary potential that it has. But like there's not a lot that don't roll with LP. So of course, if you find Ravenous Void, if you find some super uber rare uniques, kind of like the red rings of Altlaria. Yeah, those won't roll with LP. Most likely they can, and they have been found with 1 LP. But for the most part, you kind of like, as you play through the game, you know which items need LP and which ones don't. So I separated them by unique armor, unique weapons, and unique accessories, right? So relics, rings, and amulets. And they're like very neatly organized here. Unique Weaver's Will. This is another like type of items that these are actually legendary because they roll with certain stats on them, right? As you equip them and kill monsters, they will level up with you and gain affixes. So this is another type of item that I just put in here by themselves. And some unique idols. You have some singularities, Trinity of Flames, and you can have like Throne of Ambition. I am sure they will add more as time goes by. So that is why I made a separate tab for this. Set items. There you go. Weapons and armors. I don't have too many of these because like set at the moment are not that great, but they will eventually like upgrade the set items to have some kind of a mechanic, kind of like legendary potential on the uniques. But we don't know what it's going to be yet. But at that time, I will probably like flesh out my set category a little bit more. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention is that, for example, for the one-handeds, right? I always try to keep at least 2 of every single unique because you never know when you will want to dual wield. So at least having 2 is a very good option here. For the idols, I went with this color here. I separated them. So the class idols I have in my classes here, but the regular idols for any class I put in a separate category. So Eterran Idol, Ligonian Idols, Stout, and Humble Eterran Idol. Keep in mind, Stout Idols, you really like to have a Vigorous Stout of Life. Vigorous Stout Idols of Life, kind of like this one here, 5% increased health and flat health. These are extremely rare, and like the maximum rolled on those is like 5 and 30. So if you do find some of these, make sure to keep them, right? Yeah. So that is how I did my stash tabs, guys. A couple of rares, so when you're leveling up, you know, you always have like good rares to like choose from. These are not all good, but yeah, look at this one here. Like, it's alright, you know. You slap this on a new character. It has movement speed, vitality, hybrid health, and armor. Like, it's just like, you know, just kind of a... If I make a new character and I want to choose from rares instead of just Exalteds, because sometimes Exalteds have higher level requirements. When you're lower level, you might want to use something here. So I just keep a couple of them. I don't really worry too much about this one, though. Some leveling tabs. Items that you might use when you're leveling up. For example, Arboreal Circuits, giving you a ton of movement speed. Morning Frost with like movement speed slapped on them that you can equip at level 8. Maybe like a Firestarter Torch that has a legendary Firestarter Torch. So you can slam affixes on these that are tier 7, and you can use them as soon as you can equip the item. So it makes these items incredibly good. And then I have like one tab for each kind of keys, basically. So that is how I do my stash tabs. So if you want to buy a new stash tab, you click the little plus icon here. This at the top is going to be for a category, and this at the bottom here is going to be a subcategory. So that is it for today, guys. This is how I do my stash tabs. I wish there were templates for stash tabs, but unfortunately there are not. But yeah, at least now you know which color I used. If you like this, feel free to copy me. And I hope you have a great time organizing your stash in Last Epoch, guys.